There's a Mets fan that doesn't get any time off.
Uh-oh.
And it's time for us to go from the stretch with Jason DeCanio. And he joins us right now. Good morning, Jason.
Good morning. How's it going in TV land or StreamYard land or wherever you are? I'm mobile today.
We see that.
Yeah.
Why are you mobile today, man?
Oh, I had some errands to run, and I just was not going to make it back to my computer in Oviedo. So I'm out here doing some errands and still in Seminole County. And I figured I didn't want you to push me back to the 11:30 spot to have to.
Right.
So we'll just get on with it, and we'll take it from here and do a different. At least once a month, I'll be via my car. So
and it'll be me when I get completely healthy. Once a month, I'll be on the road doing this. Okay, exactly. What is wrong with your New York Mets? Talk to me.
Oh, for Christ's sake, man! Hey, we won that game Sunday night. It was a freaking miracle. Yeah. But, you're down to the Giants. You still gave them 2 games that they don't deserve.
Right.
I don't care what and how bad they played. I don't care how bad Wilmer Flores thinks he's hot stuff. He was always going to be a Met, and no matter where else he goes, he still plays like he's in freaking New York the way he plays. He's just showing off his stuff. Wow. Big deal, Wilmer Flores. You got a hell of a nerve coming into Citi Field thinking you're going to get a standing ovation from the New York Mets fans that booed you some 5-6 years ago. Come on.
Better Wilmer Flores. It's better Wilmer Flores than Wilmer Font.
That's true.
Which was Joe Beningo's bane of existence one episode when I listened to him. He just wanted to know who the hell Wilmer Font was.
Yeah, exactly. But we won that game on Sunday by some sheer miracle. We was down 3-1, and I'm like, oh my God, tied up with a bases loaded double, and then win the game. And Omar Narvaez, holy cow, the 0-for-29 slump. He finally comes out of his shell.
He finally comes out of his shell.
My God.
And we repeat the word finally, because I was looking at that game. I was looking at that game on Sunday. My wife peeked over my shoulder, saw me watching baseball. She says, who are you watching? Giants and Mets. She looked over my shoulder and she said, come away from the computer right now.
She's telling me you're doing that again for the next 2 weeks. It's like last week we had the same issue.
Yep. Listen, Jody's not a sports nerd like I, but if she's in tune with anybody, she's in tune with my crazy ass. Because looked at that. She looked at that game. I was watching it. We were in the 9th inning. As a matter of fact, the top of the 9th inning had just concluded and they had gone to break. And she says, which feed are you watching? I'm watching the Giants feed. She went out, fed the rabbits, came back in, looked over my shoulder, and she says, you come away from this computer right now. Huh? And all she did was wrap her arms around me, gave me a kiss, and said, trust me. I went and took a nap. I woke up a couple of hours later, and y'all won. What the hell did my wife know that I didn't?
I was listening to the last of the game at my house, but I was listening to the whole game in my car while I was door dashing Sunday afternoon.
Right.
And Tomas Nido, I don't care how the guy is stupid. Look, you threw away a ball to the third baseman to try to pick the guy off at third. You throw it over his head. The Giants score the first round. I'm like, oh, great. Here we go again.
Right.
Stupid little thing.
That was the first run I saw.
That was the first run of the game.
I would actually plan to do a game Sunday. Jody asked me, are you doing a game today? I said, yeah, I'm planning for it now. And it was going to be the Astros game. But then something in my gut said, don't do it today. You got the whole weekend. Don't know when Jody's going to have a full weekend off. And then when she tells me to come away from my computer and wraps her arms around me, I obey. And I got the hell out of here.
Me and you ought to do a play-by-play for my team and you, whatever team you're following, and we should just call it inning by inning, and it should be fun. Yeah, I'd love to do that now that I have experience doing it. Yeah,
we have to do it. Now, here's why I mentioned Wilmer Font with Jason being a big time Mets fan. Y'all know I'm a big fan of Joe Beningo and Evan Roberts when they were on WFAN together.
Yeah.
Well, I was watching one day, I was listening one day, and for some reason, this happened.
Sick and tired of hearing Syndergaard stink, even though they won the game last night. To me, it's like one of those games, they won, but I'm aggravated because this guy was terrible. And they can't live with this guy being terrible.
No, he has to be better.
Of course, especially when they have no depth, as you've said a million times in the starting rotation, to the point that some guy, Wilmer Font. Who the hell is Wilmer Font? Wilmer Font is pitching today. Wilmer freaking Font.
That right there.
In the starting rotation, to the point that some guy, Wilmer Font. Who the hell is Wilmer Font? Wilmer Font is pitching today. Wilmer freaking Font with a 6-point-something ERA. He's pitching today for the Mets.
If that doesn't tell you, gentlemen, if that doesn't tell you every piece of New York coming out of Joe Beningo when he doesn't even know who the hell the pitcher is.
Yeah.
For his,
you would figure these guys would have some knowledge of who was pitching the night before to get some info on them. I mean, I don't even look at the players too, and I try to do my research, and I'm like, who the heck is this guy? Where is he coming from? And why does he have an ERA above 7 for crying out loud? If he, if that was the case, if I was doing my research.
Yeah.
But to get back to your point, yeah, Wilmer Flores, I mean, showing off the dives at first base, big deal. Wow, woo. I don't care what you say. Wilmer Flores, you left the Mets. You gave him the middle finger. You whined and complained when you were on the trading block. Oh, please, don't trade me. Don't trade me. And then they don't trade him. And then he comes back and hits a home run. But then the next year he leaves to go on and do some great things. And it's just like I said before, everybody who leaves the Mets go on to bigger and better things. And I'm sick and tired of seeing these old-time players like Travis Darno, the dumbass from the Braves, oh, my God, continue to play like he never left New York. Where were you when we needed you those remaining years?
After 2015.
Yeah, exactly.
After Game 4, I gotta tell you all this funny story. When I was listening to the Mets and the Cubs in the NLCS in 2015, I somehow had gotten the New York feed, which features one of my favorite voices of all time, Howie Rose.
Right.
Man. Yep. The person I was living with at the time was an ardent Cubs fan, which told me two things. I better get the hell out of the house, or I better go through a lot of headphones. Well, I wound up doing the latter that night. And the young lady who I was seeing, I thought was going to protect me from the hell that was the moronic Republic of Cub Nation, but I was forever wrong. So when Travis Darno hit a home run in the first inning and a double in the second inning to make it 6-0, I screamed my brains out.
Yeah.
I got the look from hell.
And mind you, one thing, Darno is known for the man who bruised the fruit in center field. He hit the apple dead on, 410 feet in Citi Field, and it was like, oh my God, wow, what a shot to center field. Who would have thought? Bruise the fruit.
He
put a Band-Aid on the apple.
On the fly. I didn't think anybody would be able to bruise. I didn't think anybody would be able to bruise the fruit, but Travis Darno, one good shot and pow, the dent's right there.
I mean, they had to play it 3 or 4 times just to convince everybody that it actually did hit. It hit before it popped up. As soon as it hit, it popped up. The fruit popped up as soon as the ball hit it. Right in the money pot, the money shot. I said this guy ought to get. I think this guy ought to get an additional $25,000 just for hitting the center field. Yeah.
Let's go to the American. Let's go to the American League really quickly. I'm looking at the American League West. I see the Seattle Mariners are on top of the West. My next 3 words are not for long. I just have this stupid feeling the Mariners are the only team in the West to have a winning record for now. For now. Because, and we talked about it last year when Seattle came out of nowhere, and all my Mariner fans are saying, see, Seattle's the team to beat. Not till you go into Houston and beat them. I still think the American League West goes through Houston. I don't see it any other way.
Like you said with Philly last week, you said the NL East goes through Philly, and in this case, the AL West goes through Houston. And mind you, they were in the bottom, and they're pulling themselves ahead of the Athletics. The Athletics are slipping, and now Texas has another fight on their hands because it's still Texas and Houston, and Seattle is going to have to find a way to just, crash the party some way or another.
I don't think Texas, the way they're playing right now, and I want to get Victor's thoughts on this because he was the first one that clued me in on the American League West. The way that it's shaping up right now, I don't think Texas gets invited back to the party the way they're playing right now.
Yeah, they got to do a total 180 to get back to where they are. It's what happens. It's a lull even after a chip. We saw it with Houston too, where they had a bit of a lull before they started getting back to how they know how to play baseball to get back into the playoffs. Sometimes it's that lull comes later in the season. Sometimes it comes early in the season.
Yeah, but I just don't think I don't think the Mariners nor the Rangers have what it takes to run the table in the West. And everybody's picking the Rangers because they're the defending world champions. I mean, how can you not? What do I always say?
I still say the Houston Astros are still going to be the team to beat. I totally agree with Brian. Yes, Texas will give them a run for the money, but come August, September, Houston's going to be up by about 10 games at least in the West.
If not more.
Well, let's just say 10 games just to be nice.
I'm not being nice.
No, but 10 games is being, awfully generous. Let's put it that way.
Listen, as far as I'm concerned, I hope Houston just takes off and runs away with that division and hides. Yeah. So they can get a week off. They don't have to face anybody in the wild card. And when the time comes, when the division series comes around, whoever goes before them, they get to stick a foot in their ass. Because what the narrative is with Houston. No Dusty Baker, no division title for the Astros. Have y'all not understood the fact that the Astros had to deal with something called injuries?
Yes.
From the start of the season.
Yes.
And now they lost. Yep. Now that they lost last night in Seattle, they got to see Seattle 18 more times. They got to see Seattle 18 more times. I dare you, Seattle Mariners, to beat them. Period. Especially now they got Justin Verlander back, and he's throwing like, Justin Verlander.
Yeah.
I'm not worried about the. I'm not worried
No,
about.
I don't. Brian Snow is never worried about anything because when he feels it, he sees it. I've known this guy about a year now already. It's actually we've been a year as friends as of May 24th.
Yep.
So we have been friends for a year and 4 days. So happy anniversary to that.
I picked up. I pick up on a feeling, and I had so many people. I had so many people tell me you shouldn't base what you think of on a feeling. I'm like, do you even watch sports?
Everything's a feeling on sports. My grandmother even had feelings on it, knew what was going on. Had the same feelings as you did back when she was alive.
Well, let's look at it this way. 2 years ago, Snowman, on a whim, after one of the worst losses against San Francisco's record, just said, I might be totally wrong, But I have a feeling that San Francisco is going to end up running a table and get into the playoffs. What happened afterwards?
They won 10 in a row.
There you go.
We got our ass kicked by the Kansas City Chiefs. We got blown out 44-23. We got blown out. And I said the next day after the Chiefs beat us, I said, I don't know why I'm thinking this, but I don't think the 49ers will lose again. What do? They rip off 10 in a row. They rip off 10 in a row. And I still get questions to this day of, how did you know this? Like, don't ask.
It was a feeling.
The football gods are very grateful. Let's put it that way.
They are gracious.
But
I have to say,
with the AL divisions, the AL East, the AL West, and the AL Central. I'm looking at the AL Central, and I'm gonna make a bold prediction right now. I say the Twins aren't the team to beat; it's the Royals that are the team to beat.
You know what? I will back up. I'll double down on that prediction.
Yeah.
I will triple down on it because I see what the Royals are doing. Yes.
I guess we're all in agreement.
Here's what I'm thinking. And y'all are gonna think I'm nuts. It'll come down to a Royals White Sox series at the end of the season to decide the division. For some dumb, crazy reason, as I ripped into my team earlier in the year. They had to get their act together with their pitching. They had to do some more situational. They had to do some more situational hitting. When they won 4 in a row earlier this month, I believe it in my heart, and not just because I'm a fan, but because I've seen it before with sports, especially baseball, which is the first sport I ever grew up watching. Something in the White Sox has clicked. Something's clicked. I don't know what it is, but something has clicked.
They'll make the comeback of the century there, Brian, but it's still going to be the Guardians and the Royals. Yeah. Somewhere along the line, the Guardians are going to stand strong because right now they are leading the division. Yes, but the Royals are going to put up one hell of a fight.
I want the Royals to kick their ass.
I agree, especially after that gruesome.
I cannot stand Cleveland for many reasons.
You sweep my Mets, and you sweep us under the floor, and you make us look like we were not even there in contention. Oh my God! What kind of power does Cleveland have? I look at that game. I looked at every one of those games, and I said, "Those son of a guns are power batting." Oh, back to back home runs, like chop, chop, chop. Oh my gosh.
Listen, I have no faith, interest, or anything that has to do with Cleveland sports. Why do I say it that way? Well, Victor's known me 20 plus years. Why do I say it that way? Y'all know tomorrow. Y'all know tomorrow's Wednesday and who I ripped and the group that we rip to shreds every Wednesday. That's why I say it that way. We're against the break, but from the stretch with Jason DeCanio, you can see and hear him every Tuesday morning. Absolute delight, my friend. Thank you so very much. We appreciate you.
Thank you, Brian, for having me. We'll see you next week.
See you next week.